The Black Light Project is a film and photography project that is based upon sharing positive narratives of Black males because they don't get a lot of positive press, unfortunately. A lot of the media surrounding Black males is very negative, and we wanted to do something to change that.
With this project, shine a light on Black men that have done very well to the community. We have great young men, great people here in Rocky Mount that are doing great things. These are heroes in Rocky Mount.
The Black Light Project is part of the Z. Smith Reynolds Public Arts Grant. And so we have 8 subjects who are going to be featured, and they come from different walks of life. And they're going to go up on these banners. These images are taken by Black male photographers. And what the people of Rocky Mount will be able to see is the product of that work. And the product of that conversation is more than simply a photograph. It's a story captured in that photograph. So this project brings that on this huge scale, this potential to create something that shifted that narrative away from the negative things over to the beauty that they contain and the possibilities and potentials. What Black men contribute to society. The goal of the Black Light Project in partnership with Z. Smith Reynolds is to spark healthy dialogue. And these are conversations that we should not only be having locally, but having nationally. And so I'm very proud to say that Z. Smith Reynolds wanted to partner in continuing a positive narrative where Black males are concerned. And I'm really proud to say they were able to do that in Eastern North Carolina.
Art is important because it's probably one of the most universal ways to communicate with others. That's one of my biggest reasons why I feel as if, everybody's throughout the world, everybody speaks a different language. But as far as art goes, everybody can understand art.
Art is going to communicate something that you can't deny, whether it's visual or music. So art is extremely important to communicate when you feel like there's a barrier. I feel like the photographs are important because they communicate that we're human too, and we deserve the same treatment as everybody else.
The exhibit is what's on display now. We have a total of 13 Rocky Mount gentlemen, but the 8 that are selected for the Z. Smith Reynolds project will be on big banners, and that project is funded by Z. Smith Reynolds Inclusive Public Art Grant.
Also a part of the Black Light Project that we're doing here in Rocky Mount is something called AutoCast, and you can visit the website of the museum and you can click on each subject. You can actually hear them talk about who they are. They give an interview, so that's a really cool part of it too.
The way we chose subjects overall was we took community nominations. We pushed it out with the help of our PR department and also with the Black Light Project. A local Alpha Kappa Alpha Chi Omega chapter also helped us push out, and we selected them as wide a variety of demographics as we could. So we were trying to get someone in their 20s, someone in their 30s, different backgrounds. So we were trying to get as wide a variety as possible.
When people are traveling, when they see these banners, I want them to think about what the heart of the Black Light Project is. And that is to realize everybody has a story. And that's the most human thing that we can do, is to connect and to understand that there's context to who we are. And what I want them to do is decide that they'll have more meaningful conversations and more meaningful thought processes about some of the communities they otherwise don't give much of a pass.
Growing up in Edgecombe County, living and working here in Rocky Mount, I wouldn't have it any other way. I work with planning and land development and got into that with the goal that I would work right here in this region to try to make a difference and make an impact.
I want this project, the Black Light Project, to show the community that you have men who grew up in this community who are still here, who don't mind coming back to help tell the story of Rocky Mount. This project will help build a community in showing that Rocky Mount is just not a place where there's violence, where there's also a place of fellowship and a strong will to be a part of the community, be engaged and help it grow.
When we began to write the grant, I discovered some history I didn't know. For instance, that Dr. Martin Luther King first gave his I Have a Dream speech at the Booker T. Washington Gym. No idea. Most people actually do not know that. There's just a lot of rich history here, and it's nice to see it become uncovered.
So my friends of Rocky Mount, I have a dream tonight. I have a dream that one day little black boys and little black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and little white girls and walk the streets as brothers and sisters. I have a dream.
A lot of the kids today don't know the history of this place. A young man that came out that fought for equality for them. I was a young boy, I was outside. He inspired me way back then when he came to Rocky Mount. It ain't nothing, no words ever spoken, no powerful to bring the human race together. I come back here and worked in parks and recs. I saw a need here in the city where young men were just falling by the wayside. Gangs were forming. They never been a bad kid, it's just a bad situation. A lot of them went on to college, finished high school. Those are the things that I wanted to bring to the city of Rocky Mount. Back to the Bright Light Project. This is a good thing. They're bringing out the best that we have here in Rocky Mount. God gave me an opportunity to stand here before I leave here, that somebody can hear the message that was told to me early on in life. And I'm just giving it back.
A lot of what you hear in regards to Rocky Mount is extremely negative. I want people to see the Rocky Mount for the beauty of it, as opposed to seeing it for the statistics. And I think the Black Light Project is doing a great job to help move Rocky Mount forward in that place.
The Black Light Project is really, really important because it's dangerous. When you have a negative story constantly pumped into mainstream media about you, one that's full of fear, degradation, then those who aren't a part of your culture or the people who see you and make rapid judgments can make those judgments out of fear. And when people make those immediate judgments without understanding that Black men are more than what you see on the evening news.
The community should see the very essence of Black manhood. I think through the photos, the community should be willing to shift their perspectives about what the Black man is, be willing to open up and actually ask questions, hear our stories.
When we celebrate the good in our community, when we recognize the good in our community, when we humanize the people in our community, like we actually treat them as vital, as important, then they rise to that. So the more that we do that, the more we'll see our communities band together, and the more they'll grow, and the more they'll produce. And the more we're proud of our communities, the more we have to be proud of in our communities.
Visibly Speaking is a production of PBS North Carolina in association with the Z. Smith Reynolds Foundation.